It's been almost 20 years, friends, that I've been a loan officer. 20 years goes by really, really fast. So what did Miss Tomekia do before becoming a loan officer? Well, I was a financial advisor, believe it or not. So I was a financial advisor for about 4 or 5 years. Prior to being a financial advisor for First Command Financial Planning, I was actually in property management. So I did property management. Even after I graduated college, I did property management. Before then, I did leasing, consultant, things of that sort while I was in college. So I attended the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. My bachelor's degree is in finance with a concentration in real estate. So I became interested in real estate, I would say, gosh, maybe when I was about 18, 19 years old. My parents were looking for a home or another home. This would be their third home that they had owned at the time. And they took me with them. So they took me with them to look at homes. I met the real estate agent, all of that. So I became interested in real estate probably during that time. Now, I've always loved math. So I've always loved math ever since I was a little girl. I loved math. So I guess when I got to college, though, I went to school with the intention of becoming a teacher. So I was gonna become a teacher. That's why I went to college. My pastor would always call me teacher, Reverend Jones, rest his soul. He would always call me teacher. So it was just placed in my head, I'm gonna be a teacher, I'm gonna be a teacher. Well, I got into my very first early childhood education class, and the dean of the School of Education was my professor. And I was like, no, this isn't gonna work for me. We're not gonna get along. And then I decided, well, why don't you just go with numbers, because you really like numbers. So yeah, okay, I'll change my major. So I changed my major to accounting and got to accounting 1, got through accounting 2. And I was like, how many more of these accounting classes I'm gonna have to take? I was like, accounting, I don't think I'm gonna make it. So I decided to change my major to financial planning, or finance, I'm sorry. I was like, well, I'll be a stockbroker. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a stockbroker. So I went into the School of Business, changed my major to finance, and then found out that they were offering a concentration in real estate with just a few more classes. It was the first year that Euler was starting to offer that concentration. So I was part of that first group. And that's what I signed up for. So I completed my bachelor's degree in finance with the concentration in real estate. And you know, when you graduate from college, you're expecting to earn, X number of dollars because you've devoted, 4 years to school. And the papers at that time, because I don't know if, we had the internet, but we didn't have all the advancement that we have today. So we were expecting, or I was expecting to earn, a certain amount and be able to apply for certain jobs. And I remember applying for my very first job as a financial advisor with a certain company. I won't mention any names, but at that time when I went in for my interview, I did not fit the mold that they were looking for. What they shared with me was they didn't think I'd have an audience to sell to because of my age. And I was like, okay, all right, okay. So I did not get that opportunity. I did get an opportunity to continue working in leasing / property management. So I was actually offered a property management job. So I took that role, and then I got married. I got married 6, 7, 8 months. Graduated in May, got married in December. So off I go. So I leave town. I go to Georgia with my husband because he was active duty Army. Thank you for your service, husband. And so we go to Georgia. And if you've ever lived in a small town or been to a military town, it's a lot of who you know. So I ended up getting employment through a temporary service, and I worked in commercial property management in that role. So I did commercial property management. Then we moved over to Fort Hood. I don't think they call it that now, but Killeen, Texas. And we were there for quite some time. Again, it was a who you know. I was actually able to pick up my first position there, word of mouth. So who you know, I was not a financial advisor at that time. I was a property manager and office manager for a real estate company. So I did property management for individual homes, and then I ran all the checks through all of that for real estate transactions. So again, I'm maybe 23, I don't know, 23 years old or so at that time. And I was offered an opportunity to test to become a financial advisor after my husband and I met for a consultation. We were referred actually by his major at the time, so shout out to his major for introducing us. So I took that test. I was able to get an opportunity, take all of the licensures, took months, became an advisor, was at the top of the charts with that company. So I did very, very well. All glory be to God. So after about 4 years or so, I got pregnant, right? So we decided we'd have a baby, and it didn't take long to get one. So here comes TJ, and there goes the different roles that my husband had in the military that caused him to be away. And I didn't want my child to be raised by a nanny or something of that sort all of their life. So back then, again, like 20 something years ago, as a financial planner, you had to meet with your clients evenings, weekends, because you needed the husband, the wife, or everyone there. Everything was in person, on the desk, in the office, no virtual, no Zoom, none of that. So my manager, or one of my old district managers, she opened a mortgage shop. And so she asked me to come work with her. And that was an opportunity for me to kind of work my own schedule and build my business, that way. So I took that opportunity, and that is how I got into the mortgage business. So nearly 20 years ago, because TJ is about to be 21. So nearly 20 years ago is when I got into the mortgage business. I got into it when there were subprime home loans. There was all kind of interesting things going on, and things of course have improved. Laws have changed. There are more things in place to protect consumers. But what I really love about doing mortgages is you're solving problems. You're helping people to purchase the largest thing that they will ever purchase in their life. But for me, I feel another type of duty because I do have other experiences and backgrounds. So I try to yield that information to my clients as well. Encouraging them to save, encouraging them to invest in their retirement fund, making better use of their monthly dollars, looking at creative solutions to combine debt and get a simpler payment, helping husbands and wives to come together on one accord, which we know that, money is sometimes an issue that comes up with husband and wife relationships or family relationships. So being on one accord with your finances in general is important. Owning a home and then being able to keep that home is extremely important. So I do consider what we do on the Hunt team as a ministry unto the Lord and unto our community. So I wanted to share with you guys just a little bit about Miss Tomekia and how I got into the mortgage business and how I just really love what I do and how I am so grateful for each person. I mean, there are hundreds of people who have entrusted their finances to me, not just in mortgage, but in financial services as well. I started a lot of families' financial plans a long time ago, and if they had kept with it, if they did keep with it, like they should be very well off right now. So I'm grateful for the way the Lord has led my husband and myself through life and through different positions and opportunities. And I just pray that I'm able to continue to feed into people, whether it's clients, whether it's business partners, whether it's my actual individual team and team members at my branch and at my company. We all have something to give. So thank you so much for just listening in to a little bit about Miss Tomekia. Talk to you soon.